people here though, okay? So over the weekend, like I'm getting a lot of emails, people tagging me, like whatever. They're saying that someone who I respect, Charlamagne, made comments about the show I'm on, Everyday Struggle. I'm gonna play the comments for y'all, and I want y'all to help me to mediate what I think. Now, after y'all hear it or whatever, I'm gonna also tell you or give you the details of what, you know what I mean? I be telling all of them, I'm like, yeah, don't be telling me shit if y'all want me to tell the chat niggas. I'm telling everything. Like, it comes one in, comes out, you say it, goes in my ear, comes in my mouth on stream. I can't, I don't know, nigga. Anyway, I'll let you know the conversation. We had a conversation private prior to it, but I'm going to play you this, and I want you to tell me what you thought about it. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it. Might take a while. Might take a while. Or not. I think this is it. Okay. This is that the beginning? Right? Okay. Let's see. I want y'all to listen. It's about 3-4 minutes of audio. You let me know what you think. And I'm going to just read the chat, then I'll give you more information.
Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots. We was just in here, just started listening to the Joe Budden podcast. We haven't heard the whole thing. We just heard the beginning of them listening to our podcast from last week, where we were talking about Joe Budden's show, Everyday Struggle.
Everyday Struggle. And Akademiks show.
Joe did. Is it really Akademiks show? I mean,
yeah,
he's there.
He is there, but
it's my guy. He's there, but Joe did call me Sunday. We was chopping it up about some things. I call him Journalist Joe now. Journalist Joe, Journalist Joe Budden. He used to be Jump Off Joe Budden. He's Journalist Joe Budden now.
That's right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, Joe, man. You know, I think otherwise, but we have a bet here. We have a nice little pool going.
Yeah, we think the show's going to be done in a month.
Yeah.
I think that, and I want you to prove me wrong. I really, honestly want you to prove me wrong, because I love the show. I love how crazy and emotional you get and how much you actually care.
Yeah.
It really does feel like you actually care. But I think, what do you give it, Charlamagne?
I give Everyday Struggle about 6 months, and
okay.
I don't think Joe Budden's gonna cause it to crash and burn, but I do think Joe Budden's is eventually gonna walk away from it, because that's just the type of person he is.
Fair enough.
Like, and Rory,
when success is there, he goes the other way.
Yeah, and Rory and y'all out of y'all goddamn mind to let him name the podcast the Joe Budden podcast.
I know.
All right?
What the heck?
You don't hedge your bets on somebody that unstable. All right.
Because what happens when he leaves the podcast?
He's gonna leave. Listen, Joe, unless Joe has turned over a whole new leaf,
and let's hope he has.
Yes. If not, he's going to walk away from a lot of this shit. Like, Joe is the guy that right when shit starts to get good, he's like, nah, fuck this shit. I'd rather smoke cigars and make a mood music 10. Okay? So
I don't even know what you just said.
Mood music 10.
I support it. Okay.
mood music. Damn, thinking about Joe Budden smoking cigarettes made me cough. Mood music is a mixtape series Joe Budden did.
Listen, I don't know anything about hip hop, but I will say this is I hope that you use this as inspiration to Joe to keep the show going. Everyday Struggle. We want that to keep going. We're enjoying the content.
Yeah.
You know, I really hope that the infighting and the ego doesn't tear you guys apart, you know. And Rory, I didn't know that you were being sarcastic on Twitter. You said that you were being sarcastic. I did not know. That being said, I'd still think that infighting it might cause a demise. I would say, let me be fair. Originally, my guess was 2 months. I think 2 months is what it's going to be. But please,
hold on now. What are we hedging the bets on now? The Everyday Struggle or the Joe Budden podcast?
No. Everyday Struggle.
Okay.
Everyday Struggle.
Well,
I don't know about the Joe Budden podcast.
They're going to change the Everyday Struggle to the Joe Budden Struggle in a minute, okay? It's going to be the Joe Budden Struggle,
He's just going to be yelling directly into the camera.
Featuring DJ Akademiks.
Oh, wow.
And if Akademiks gets fed up and doesn't want to do it anymore, they're going to bring in Rory. And,
really? So maybe that's what the infighting is about. Maybe they're trying to get Akademiks out of there so that they can get Rory in.
If Joe Budden's smart, I'll be honest with you, you get rid of Rory Amall and bring Akademiks on the podcast. Just do it.
Whoa! It's a double switch.
Hey, I'm just saying. This is all I'm saying. Rory Amall, watch your back. All right.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying. I see what's going on here. Okay.
He gets Akademiks off of Everyday Struggle.
Journalistic
Rory
Joe
Maul on to Everyday Struggle. Then he leaves Everyday Struggle and continues Joe Budden podcast with Akademiks.
Boom.
That is some
Joe Budden gets all the money, baby.
Opera-esque drama right
Joe
there.
Budden, Journalistic Joe, a.k.a. the Chief Cultural Director for Complex Media.
Damn.
Right?
Wow. That is some genius shit, Joe.
Hey.
Man, we're watching, though. We're watching.
We're paying
Hey, man.
attention. We got a nice little pool here at Loudspeaker.
Exactly.
To see how long everything lasts.
Yeah.
But, you know, Joe, things don't work out. You can always bring the Joe Budden podcast to the Loudspeaker Network.
That's right.
We talked about that on as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, goodness is good business.
Okay. What? Whoa. Feels loaded. So a lot of people, I think that's the clip, because people are sending me all type of shit. I think that's the clip everybody's reacting to. What should I think about it? Y'all tell me what you should think about it. Then I want... What are we doing? Somebody said not a diss. Somebody said disrespectful. Somebody said they said Joe yells. Chat niggas do got the power. That's true. It's whatever. Hating you. Co-host. No, it's not sound like such a friend. Don't trust Complex. It wasn't. Y'all are going in. Hey, I'll give y'all some more information. Right? I like giving y'all information. And if y'all never knew, I've always gave y'all my, which I don't have to divulge this discussion I had today. So, he says, "A guy got to put respect on your name." Okay. Let me say this. In Charlamagne, we talked before this. If you guys don't know, Charlamagne is, I don't know if we consider him industry, but he's he's the first person I've ever known in like media or industry. Back in 2012, being a very avid fan and also very vocal on Twitter, we followed each other. I asked him if I could come do an interview with him. He said yes. It was very easy. Like, didn't give me the run around to, I'm too big to fucking talk to you type of shit. Appreciate it a lot. But when I did have the interview, the sit down with him, I did tell him afterwards. I'm like, listen, I don't want nothing from you. I don't want no favors. You see, I've never asked a nigga for a favor. I've never. You know what I mean? I don't be asking niggas for handouts, shit. What I said, because I don't know anybody in this industry, I would like, and because I look up to you in terms of really your talent and how you're navigating, I would like for this between me and you. Just meaning, if I hit you with a text asking you some shit that I just don't know, fine. You know what I mean? Get me something. I'm saying this. I ain't asking for no opportunity. I don't want you to put me on. I don't want to be an intern. I'm good. Just if I ask you like a question, like if you could respond. Over the years, we've talked multiple times in length. Like, you know what I mean? Like, usually, even like him going through things at the breakfast, even him giving me advice based on even lessons he's learned, based on other things that's even gone down. I remember when the relations that happened with other popular people who got arrested for other things, you know what I mean? He called me and gave me advice, whether it's confrontation, and he always tried to teach. And I thought that's why I called him a mentor too. Like someone who would use his experience or experience of others and be like, yo, this is why you should do things this way or don't do things that way. Because you see what's happening to him, blah, 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 blah. Like, very, you know what I mean? Again, when I do say that, I don't mean me and Charlamagne was hanging out like buddies, nothing like that. I've probably seen Charlamagne like 10 times or something. Maybe. I don't keep count. But we've talked at least like times either through text, a lot of phone conversations. So I'm giving you guys the background, right? So that's the background. One thing I did respect him for, and again, I'm a loyal person. Even though I don't hang out with you, the fact that you would even think as much of me by just even giving me that time of day, I respect it. When I did get that interview with him, when I went up to the Breakfast Club, this was 2013, I got to find out immediately that an intern on their show, who was one of my co-hosts on college radio, she fucking hated me. I never knew. I seen her at college because I was in college at the time. I seen her. She was like, it was cool. Like, she ain't saying like, yo, fuck that bitch ass nigga. Like, I saw her. I even said, yo, what up? Like, she kind of just like faded me, but I was like, you know, why she ain't answer? Whatever. When I got up there, I got to find out from him really that she told Envy, Charlamagne, and Yee, if there's one nigga in this whole planet I don't want y'all to fuck with, I don't want y'all to talk to, don't give him no interview, fuck that nigga. It was Akademiks. I didn't even know. So I thought it was particularly dope that, number one, not only at the time he didn't know me when he invited me up, didn't know me. Not only did he invite me up, but the intern, who was kind of fake because she said all that, then she came downstairs to get me, right? You know what I mean? Me and my homie, right? We get up there, and he was... I like how he confronted the shit immediately. Like, he didn't make it seem like... because I noticed, like, when I got up there, I won't mention names, but there's a little bit of funniness happening, okay? Like, I seen somebody who followed me on Twitter, they walk right past me like I ain't exist. I'm like, oh, maybe he's just busy. But hearing, like, immediately when he saw me and the intern, he cleared it up instantly. He said, yo, why does she hate you so much? If she, like, he basically just spilled it all immediately, right? You know what I mean? I consider that, and I still consider that one of the realest moves ever. Because you never, sometimes you hear people talk behind people's backs, and you never hear that conversation to their face. He made it very clear in front of Shorty, in front of me, and he basically said, I don't care, you an intern, I don't care what you say. I'm going to do the interview with homie, but I'm going to give y'all a chance to work out whatever issues y'all got now. I never knew we had an issue. And that's how a lot of things are in life. Sometimes you might not know somebody don't like you. That person get in a position of influence and power, that person blocks you out of everything. You don't even know that nigga didn't like you, right? So I thought it was hella dope, and I still think it's hella dope. One of the realest moves, and that's why I will always respect him for that. Not saying that fucking, because I don't even know if that interview even really did a lot of numbers. I mean, maybe at the time, but that wasn't like integral in where I'm at now. But that move really showed me that, yo, you could just be on it. You didn't have to be like, I'm like, yo, that's when I realized he's the person who he is on radio. You know, sometimes people are one type of, well, you guys probably haven't met most of these guys. Haven't met a lot of people in industry or like who's on camera. I realize on camera, basically before the cameras go on, they're like, yo, fuck these niggas. Then as soon as it's like they count down, it's like, I love them. Yeah, it's fake. I even told y'all. I don't give a fuck about exposing, but because that's the truth. Like, one of the things that Wale, I couldn't even understand. I'm like, Wale was texting everybody in the fucking building saying how can we kick him about his numbers while he's down and how he's hurt and people are telling me he's suicidal and all that shit. Then Wale comes on the show and Wale says, oh no, I'm fine. I'm cool. Nothing wrong with the numbers. I love it. The people like it. And I'm looking like, didn't all of y'all show me? Like, I'm looking at this shit because I don't like fake shit like that. I've never been. And you know what everyone keeps telling me, and I got to be honest with y'all? Everybody keeps telling me you're naive and you're just not hip to the games people play. And that's probably true. You know what I mean? I'm naive, but I be telling them, I'm like, listen, my whole thing and my whole come up was because I was never a corrupted nigga. I was never someone with like just trying to like take people down to come online, like especially in media. I don't talk about no media personality, period, ever. I've never, whatever. I remember even because Charlamagne was cool with me, Hot 97, I tried to get an interview with them. Like, I'm a random YouTube nigga. Yo, they were gangbanging on me. They're like, yo, ain't you Charlamagne's homie? And I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, yeah, I mean, like, I like him. He's my favorite personality, but I'm independent. I work for Power. Can I get an interview? Hey, fuck you, nigga. Like, I'm like, yo. By the way, the chick that said that, she's fired. She's out of here. I hit Ebro back then, sent him an email, no response. Niggas was gangbanging. I couldn't get nobody from, no, I got K Fox, but she already, I think she got, did she get fired from Hot 97? Yeah, she was already out from Hot 97. Nobody Hot 97. That's what be funny. I be seeing all them follow me like, what? Yo, I tried, dog. That's what I be telling y'all. And I'm telling y'all because I'm showing y'all where, even though it's not loyalty like somebody did nothing for me, I respect real moves. Because if somebody keeps it 1,000 with me, I will always keep it 1,000 with them. Always. When I see all that shit, that's why, yo, Ebro hit me after that. He was like, yo, whatever, yo, I see you moving. That's when I'm like already coming up. I'm getting like 20 million views a month on YouTube. It's like, yo, we should do drinks. Now I wasn't fucking against it, but I was looking at it like, man, you know how many emails I sent you, nigga, when I was nobody, and they don't care about a nobody. But now, and when I was Charlamagne's boy in y'all eyes, because I did an interview with him, I was trying to interview all rated personalities. I was trying to interview Star. Star studied on me crazy. Salute to Star though, you're a legend. But I think he flexed on me in the email. He was like, yo, fuck you, nigga. Deadass, I kid you not. He was like, fuck you, nigga. What happened? Because I had did something where I compared him to Charlamagne, and he was hella mad. He said, fuck you, man. I was like, oh, shit, niggas. Yo, that's when I realized it's all about, like, these, like, niggas really don't like each other. Like, they hate each other. I thought it was just gimmicks, but they don't like each other. So when I did do the interview with Charlamagne, and me and him would go back and forth, everyone thinks I'm cool with, like, yo, like I'm fucking his son. No, he's just the only one who would just deal with me for me and not give a fuck about anything else I've done. Right? So Hot 97 they passed, Star passed. Who I was trying to interview somebody else, they passed. Charlamagne was the only nigga. And funny enough, he was the biggest person at the time. So I always remember that. Again, he would always reach out, give me advice. Never really hit me with the big homie shit or like, yo, I'm too big for this. Nah, like, if I hit him and he's busy, like, yo, I'm gonna hit you back. Like, it was real and genuine. That's the reason why I talk to and I'm cool with Ugly Guy now. Because of all the rappers, they all hit you with the I'm too big for you, little nigga, at some point. Trust me with that. I'm too big for you, little nigga, at some point. So that's why I've always maintained that relationship. And also, that's why, you know what I mean, I'm indifferent to what other people say, because me and him, we have conversation. I'll challenge him. I'm like, yo, I told him, I remember after he hit me after the bottle shit with Drake, I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. I was like, I don't know what you're doing posting the pictures with Drake and the bottles. I'm like, yo, it makes you look so crazy, especially in the eyes of your listener who expects you to be objective. Like, as much as y'all say I fuck with Drake and all that shit, there's certain shit, like, that's why even when Joe be like, yo, where Drake stands, nah, cut that shit, nigga, cut it. I mean, niggas might think about popular opinion or whatever, but you ain't gonna see me and Drake kicking it like, yo, we kicking it back in the club VIP. Nah, because it's too close. It's too close to me, and I gotta push that away. So I've challenged him on multiple stuff, but really, that's a long-winded story to lead up to, I guess, kind of where we at now. I consider Charlamagne still someone who's a mentor. I value his perspective on stuff. He's given me advice. He's given me advice on the show. Unbeknownst to y'all, he gave me advice before the Wale episode. Like, you know what I mean? He didn't even know Wale was coming up. But he'd been watching the show. He called me up. He gave me advice like, yo, listen, I see you on the show. Like, he gave me a valuable advice. He said, yo, I see you on the show. And he's like, I'm going to give you some advice because I don't want you to look stupid. And Charlamagne is one person, when he talks, I shut up. When I mean shut up, I shut up and listen. And I know I talk a lot, but when someone who has more knowledge than you and who is looking out for you, I believe, is giving you advice and their opinion, you shut up and listen. You got to take it in. So when he says something, even if I disagree, I'll respectfully disagree. We could talk about it. But I've never been the person to not take advice. You get me? That's how I've gotten where I'm at. You have to take in advice and then you decide what you want to do. But he also said, like, one of the first things he said about the show, he said, listen, I like your show, but I'm going to tell you this. You cannot and you should not go back and forth with not Wale, oh my God, with Joe Budden in terms of hip-hop history and industry insider stuff. And he kept it real. He said, yo, you don't have no experience like that in the industry, and Joe's going to run circles around you. It's going to look like you're stupid. And I agree with him, because I told him, I said, yo, like the first week of the show, I was a little bit uncomfortable because I felt like they were trying to make me look stupid. That's why I was like, yo, I couldn't hang with the tangent shit, because I'm like, are we talking about Future or L.A. Reid? Like, what are we talking about? Because if we start talking about L.A. Reid, I ain't got nothing to add to it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm still finding out shit about L.A. Reid now. I can't have no I don't have no gripe against L.A. Reid. So if we talk about Future, let's keep it at Future. But he gave me some good advice for that, and I do take that. I take that, and I continue my business because when I came on here and I told y'all and I said, yo, they want us, and by the way, salute to y'all. Y'all amazing. Despite what all these niggas do is criticizing me, putting Finally Rich as one of my classics or blastics for the last 10 years. I do believe it's a classic, especially a modern day classic in the last 10 years. You guys helped me come up with that list, right? But in thinking, I thought about it and I said, yo, this is going to be one of them joints where I know I'm about to get killed. Because he going to mention K. Yo, you don't have no experience like that in the industry, and Joe's going to run circles around you. It's going to look stupid. And I agree with him because I told him, I said, yo, like the first week of the show, like I was a little bit uncomfortable because I felt like, so I was like, yo, I couldn't hang with the tangent shit because I'm like, are we talking about future L.A. Reid? Like, what are we talking about? Because if we start talking about L.A. Reid, I ain't got nothing to add to it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm still finding out shit about L.A. Reid now. I can't have no I don't have no gripe against L.A. Reid. So if we talk about future, let's keep it at future. But he gave me some good advice for that, and I do take that. I take that, and I continue my business because when I came on here and I told y'all and I said, yo, then by the way, salute to y'all. Y'all amazing. Despite what all these niggas and me putting Finally Rich as one of my classics or blastics for the last 10 years, I do believe it's a classic, especially a modern day classic in the last 10 years. You guys helped me come up with that list, right? But in thinking, right, because the question wasn't in the last 10, the question was just classics. And then I thought about it and I said, yo, this is going to be one of them joints where I know I'm about to get killed. Because he going to mention KRS-One. I'm like, nigga, I don't know about now. I don't want, like, all respect due to KRS-One and all respect due to a lot of the people who came out in the 80s and 90s, but I don't want to have a conversation about the classics with KRS-One. You feel me? So taking in the advice which Charlamagne gave me, I was like, you know what? Yo, I know this new nigga shit. Like I know shit from the last 10, 15 years. Way better than Joe. I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to put parameters to my list. I'm not mentioning a nigga from the 80s, bro. I'm just not. Like, I can't have conversation. Like, you know how you be like, yo, well, how you going to talk about this? You won't go outside. Shit, imagine me mentioning some shit before I was born. How you going to talk about this, nigga? You weren't alive. You feel me? So, I'm not even going into that. I'm talking hip-hop from 2005 to 2017. That's why I came on my list. So, that, to me, that's valuable advice. That's valuable advice for me. Okay? Now, coming into, I think he spoke on the show before, and I'm fast forwarding a lot. Coming into his first comments on the show, I was like, okay, we had a conversation about that. These comments, though, about the show not lasting or whatever, he ain't tell me that. He never said that to me, like, on the phone. You feel me? Like, this is facts. He never, like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. Save for a rainy day. This shit about to be a rap for you. You know what I mean? He didn't say that. But I'm giving you guys insight because I kind of don't think those comments are really for me. And I'm going to lead to this other point, which I want y'all opinion on. I'm going to let y'all vote. Dead serious. And wherever the vote is, I'm doing it. What am I saying? I forgot. I definitely forgot. What am I saying? Okay. So the comments about the show, I was like, After seeing a bunch of emails and people sending me other stuff, I'm like, yo, I think there's really something between Charlamagne and Joe. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's just competition. I don't know if it's a subtle, passive-aggressive dislike. Me, I'm very new to shit, so maybe shit goes over my head. Do I believe that Charlamagne does not like me? I would be very shocked. Like, I would be like, yo, it'd be one of, you know the WeBand gift? Like, yo, it would be one of those. Again, for a person who has tried to help me, even try to help me, like, in getting the building at MTV, too. You feel me? Like, with all his connections and powers over there. If there was something there, of course that would trouble me, but I don't think there is. But I'm addressing shit that people have said. Is it low-key hate? I don't know. The comedy makes it different. The comedy makes it, like, there's comedy around it. Now, do I think it's what I do believe is something between him and Joe? I don't know what it is. In terms of him saying about me, yeah, well, Akademiks is just there. I think he kind of got that not only from the stream, which I'm finding everybody watches the stream, so I'm guessing everybody will see this, even though I'm telling y'all it's between me and y'all. But I think he's getting it from there. But also when I talk to him, and you see, what I be telling everybody, I'm like, yo, I don't be secretive like y'all. I'm like, I keep it 1,000. The same conversation I have with you here, I will go and I'll say it in a public forum. I ain't got nothing to hide. I ain't telling y'all niggas secrets. Y'all ain't my friends. Y'all ain't got no secrets to me. I tell this shit publicly. I said it on stream, and I said I don't know what the show will end up being. I said this first week. Y'all know I said I don't know what's gonna end up being. Right now, it looked like the Joe Budden show featuring Akademiks, because I'm seeing cuts coming out, and like that was a whole thing I went off on stream about. In production date, to their credit, they fixed it. They fixed it. Like, I don't want to post no fucking promo clip where all y'all niggas is doing is y'all are highlighting and showing Joe screaming, and I'm just sitting there looking stupid. Like, I'm like, what's the point? Like, we're not even having a discussion. Y'all just, yeah. And I told him, I said, y'all doing Love and Hip Hop. Y'all doing Love and Hip Hop, and I'm just there. I ain't with that shit. That's not me. You feel me? And I ain't gonna come over here and be no different character. I ain't never been no different character on my own channels. I ain't coming over here to become nobody else. I'm inventing the wheel. I ain't about to play no SNL role or some shit. Nigga, I'm here. If that ain't enough, I will hit y'all with the 2 fingers. I'm out. That's period. You feel me? And that's just what I'm at. Like, I've been said that. And I'm like, yo, also, just in terms of the show, I ain't think a show would last if we don't get dialogue. I've said this. I've said this to y'all. I've said this to anybody who's spoken to me about the show. I said my main thing is dialogue. Because at the end of the day, when niggas get tired of gimmicks and get tired of screaming, it's only so much niggas can make angry memes. When niggas want to hear real talk and they realize, oh, this is just real shouting, niggas is out of here. It might take 4 months, might take 6, might take a year. But after a while, niggas will start looking at it like, yo, that's all they do. Like, yo, they're not even talking about shit. They just scream. Like, you know, it gets played out. So that was one of my main things. So when Charlamagne says that, again, it's cloaked by comedy, but I'm not sure if it's coming from a place of saying, I don't like it, or I hope it's failing, or this is what I've gathered through speaking to. He's spoken to me privately. He's spoken to Joe privately. I think he admitted that. So I don't know if he's like summing it up, or is just hate, right? What I do know, there's something between Joe and Charlamagne. I don't know. Like, you know, I mean, I got people telling me like, yo, watch out for Charlamagne. His idols become rivals. I'm like, nah, yo, I be like, again, I ain't been fucked over in no industry like that, because I never been in the industry, and I'm still not in the industry. So when niggas is telling me, no, he got ulterior motives, I'm like, I'm gonna continually always treat Charlamagne like I've treated Charlamagne. Charlamagne is a very, he's someone who helped me out when, which is funny. I be looking, I didn't want to make too much direct mention of the conversation, but I was like, yo, what the fuck are y'all talking about? I'm like, yo, when none of y'all knew me, the only guy to give me some type of positive advice was him. Why the fuck y'all think y'all could control or tell me how to think about somebody? Fuck out of here, okay? And I stand by it, okay? Until I personally see something that I take, like, that I can make that definitive decision myself, niggas can't get in my ear. That's the thing with me. The last conversation we had, and this is me with everybody, the last conversation we had is how I'm taking you. I don't care what other people that have twisted your words or interpret your words to be, because, like, when I hit Charlamagne, and we talked on, I think we talked on Saturday, I think this was recorded before, that energy wasn't there. Like, it wasn't any type of shit like that. Not only that, somebody said, I've listened to his podcast for a year, and Charlamagne, listen, yo, I've listened to everything Charlamagne has ever said. Remember that. Like, me, I've always studied the people I looked up to. I listened to everything Star ever said. I listened to everything Star ever said. Everything Howard Stern's ever said. I still listen to Howard Stern now. I listen to everything Chris Rock has ever said. There's people who inspire me, and if people said, yo, you're kind of like, at one point people used to be like, yo, you're kind of like Chris Rock, and I'm like, damn, that's maybe because I'm watching a lot of Chris Rock. I watch a lot of his shit. I take from people who are great. You feel me? I ain't gonna be saying like I'm just fucking straight out and original. Like, no, the people who are great, I've studied them. Like, just like how fucking Kobe took from Jordan and everybody else. I ain't gonna lie. So I study great orators. I like what's his name? Jon Stewart. Like Jon Stewart. A lot of my satire is molded by Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart / Chris Rock. Y'all would never know. So that's just me. So I know I've watched and I've listened to Charlamagne, like so I've heard all his public comments. But Sukasa says I've listened to his podcast for a year, and Charlamagne has always spoke highly of you. I think Charlamagne was just making the same observation you did a few weeks ago, and that his complex is loving Joe's reality TV personality, and it seems like it's Joe's show. You said the same thing, AK. And I agree with you. I agree with you. Now, the reason why I'm bringing it up here, because I'm not too sure if everybody, just the amount of emails I got, people reaching out and stuff like that, I think other people see other reasons. And again, the reason why I'm bringing it to y'all is, I get it, I'm naive, I'm the new guy, and my whole thing is, yo, I've known homie for like 3-4 years, and we've had that particular rapport. Are you telling me that because of one comment, not now I'm supposed to be like, yo, he's hating on me? So again, I'm just putting it out to y'all to see what do y'all think about it. So that's why I gave you that background, because I don't look at it and I feel any type of way. But I know a lot of people, they feel differently. Like, yo, he's trying to, I mean, whatever. I'm shook to say what? Okay. Nintendo, I want to ask this question to y'all. No, not Nintendo, my bad. What the fuck? Your name is Night Night. He said they want your clout because the show is hot. This is a real question I asked him. Does Charlamagne, like, need clout? No, he doesn't. Like, that's, in my eyes, I'm like, bro, we have the biggest radio star, or really just urban radio star, since Wendy Williams. Let's be clear. Like, in terms of popularity, I think he surpassed Angie at her prime, which is saying a lot. Angie dropped an album. I think the next thing comparable, and I think he surpassed Big Boy. I think he surpassed Sway. And you guys can disagree, but again, this is what I'm looking at. I've studied all these people too. Not Angie as much. Angie's like, she's too happy for me. I mean, I like that. Yo, what's up, nigga? But anyway, I think other than Wendy is Charlamagne. So, somebody said Wendy fine as fuck? I see you, Tyrone. Yeah, I know you would say some shit like that. Alright, but in terms of that, I'm like, homies has dropped a book that probably selling more than Wale's album. Like, do I really think he's saying some stuff for clout? He's on a national syndicated radio show, and I think he's saying stuff or trying to bait me out, or, well, the show, or Joe. Well, I don't know what's up with him and Joe. I keep saying that. I don't know. Some shit there I don't know about. You feel me? That's why I could really only speak about me. Do I think he's for clout? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. He needs clout to stay alive? Do you really think that he doesn't have clout? Radio is dying. He's on TV. He's selling books. To me, he is. And the conversation and this is not like, yo, me fucking snitching on the conversation, because like the stuff that we've talked about privately, I could tell like he's said some of that stuff and like kind of rephrased it or whatever. But like these are positive stuff too. Like in terms of, I remember the conversation we had. I think he was playing basketball or some shit. What was it? Friday? I think Friday or Thursday, or maybe before, maybe Wednesday. The conversation we had, and I remember saying to him, I said, yo, I'm not gonna lie, I love what you're doing in terms of growing, because I see other people getting older in hip hop, and they get pigeonholed to one lane. They get pigeonholed to the, I gotta now hate on the new guys. And when I mean new guys, not personalities, but I mean new rappers. Like, y'all gotta hate on the new energy. Like, yo, you're not in fucking 2005, so I gotta hate because you're so old in hip-hop. And I hate to use the word old because I don't think it's an age thing, I think it's a mentality. But when you're not growing, like, listen, the famous saying, you know what I mean, when I was a child, I did childish things. Now I'm grown, you know what I mean, I put childish things to the side. And when I see people not growing, like, their minds are growing, but they're still sticking on to what has gave them money and fed them. Charlamagne, I see him growing where he's getting into politics. Some stuff, I'm not that into politics right now. He's heavy into it. He's into a lot of other stuff other than just nigga shit and hip-hop, which I believe he's kind of grown out of a little bit. Now, you could be the person that's just, I'm going to just stay here because I've been successful, but I see him growing. I congratulate him on the book and also his growth, because I say, yo, your growth is inspiring to me, right? It's all about growth. Think about it. Because y'all imagine, you know what I mean, like, when I was doing, let's keep it factual, right? When I was doing Warren Chirac videos, I'm like 21. And when I started, I think I was like 21 or some shit like that. Warren Chirac joints. Like, that's how young I was. Now, I'm in my, like, mid-20s, about to be on my late 20s. You get me? Am I supposed to, because that was so successful, always latch on to it? Or do I believe in myself enough to grow? Right? And I see him growing, so I gave him a lot of compliments. I say, yo, that's dope. Like, I was on a ride home, I was listening to, like, the tail end of the Breakfast Club, and they were all announcing where they're going to be at, and Envy was like, yo, I'm going to be in the club this week or whatever, tonight. Angelique, I'm going to be in the club. And I heard Charlamagne say, I'm going to go speak at a school. I'm going to empower some black kids. And I was like, yo, that's growth, yo. Like, that's growth. I fuck with that a lot. So, to me, that's inspiring. To me, that's literally inspiring. Somebody say you're getting old. No, yo, it's not getting old. It's growing and not only latching on to something that's successful. You get me? If you are really talented or you're really good, and I hate to get deep and philosophical with y'all, but Lauryn Hill, even though I think she shouldn't have let go because she's so amazing, but she said something very profound. She said life is really about peaks and valleys. And she says what happens is people get to a peak and they want to latch onto it, and time is going and they just stay there, and sometimes it stunts their own personal growth.
To that baby go fetch. I got them killers that ain't mention that. I got some hoes that drum that for a check. Me in the booth is the realest as guest. Been on my shit since I left from the nest. I love myself, I don't hang with the rest. I'm spitting this shit from the east to the west. My money long like a noob on a quest. I made a wish and your bitch got on dress. After this track, I'm the best of the best. Yes, after the track, I'm the best of the best. I'm the best of the rest, so what niggas say less.